Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another round of the SMB3 Randomizer Tournament of 2020. I'm Dustminion, and with me is...
Good evening, I am Diesel Pilot.
Tell us, Diesel, who are our racers this evening?
Well, tonight we have two racers from Group G. We've got uropsalis and jkoper. Currently, uropsalis sits at 1-3 in the group, and this will be his final two games for the group stage. And jkoper is entering tonight's match after completing one race against Magoo's Adorable. Magoo's Adorable won that race, so jkoper is currently at 0-1.
Very well. And so soon begins round one with this flag set, which is all the worlds are in their natural order for this flag set.
That's true. So as we see on jkoper's and uropsalis screens, they are starting.
They're starting with... Okay, with this flag set, they're supposed to be, the levels are supposed to be, with a few exceptions, such as what you saw right now, they're, the levels are in their natural habitat, but as you saw, there were two other castles aside from this one. There are some outliers concerning that, but for the most part, the levels should be in where they normally are, just in a completely different order.
That is correct. So as you can start to see on the maps as they appear, you see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those numbers actually will match to the world numbers of the vanilla game. However, as with all things with the randomizer, all the things that are inside the randomizer in the levels can be completely wonky. For example, World 1-2, we have our angry sun friend doing our dive bombing of uropsalis, who's playing in the colors of Luigi tonight.
But now the other 50-50.
So we see that on uropsalis' screen, he enters the World 6 Fort 2, the Carpet Fort. And knowing that this fort has appeared in World 1 also means that we can be certain that, for one, it won't appear in World 6, and also World 6 will be down one fort, because it's missing that fort as it appeared here in World 1.
As for the other fortress, well, that remains to be seen if it's the correct one or not. We'll find out in a few seconds.
That's true. All these forts can either unlock a door or build a bridge. Which one it does and which one it is, we don't know until we actually see it, and we're going to see all three forts from World 1.
Okay. And this is the Sunken Fort.
And indeed, it's a very relatively quick, and once you know how to actually play the fort, it's relatively easy to do. Just a couple of rooms with some swimming you got to do, a little bit of precision movements, but nothing too stressful to do. It's actually almost relaxing.
Yeah.
And there's our runners now. There's uropsalis is the first one to dry out his drawers and enter the fight against Boom Boom. jkoper will be right behind him.
Yeah. 1-5. You entered this level sliding, so you gotta get out of the slide before... Otherwise, you run into bad things. Most of the time.
That's right. World 5, 1-5 begins with a little bit of stranger danger. As you see on jkoper's screen, he slid right down into a spiny. The vanilla game, of course, has so much friendly enemies, so it's kind of a nice little technique to introduce to the players early on in the game in the vanilla game. In the randomizer, though, it's not as friendly.
uropsalis is taking the end card game and see what prizes await them.
So we see him make... He doesn't make any matches. It's not unusual with the in-card game to not make any matches on the first playthrough, since the game doesn't include any of the patterns from the vanilla game. It's actually entirely random how the board will be laid out.
Yeah. But it is information nevertheless.
Absolutely, and those prizes don't match the prizes that you see in the cards, and they can be very valuable.
They could be hammers and clouds.
Now, tell us, I don't recall, could anchors be one of the prizes that you would get in those forts?
I don't think it is, but someone to check and correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, well, jkoper and uropsalis are in our fight against Larry. Larry takes 3 hits to go down, doesn't provide any kind of earthquake, so he's pretty easy on a relatively flat.
Okay, thanks, Mustard. Anchors can be a prize.
Alright, so anchors can be a prize. So go ahead and tell us, what will those anchors do to our contestant? Oh, was not able to see the prize that the princess offered. Oh, it's a tanuki suit.
Hmm.
Not bad. Uropsalis is going to take that and use it immediately. And jkoper chooses to play World 2-4. It's the world with the above-ground oasis, or the oasis in the sky in that little secret hidden area up top of the screen. Uropsalis decides to play, jkoper is playing 2-4, Uropsalis is playing 2-5, the chain chomp level.
To answer chat, anchors normally in the normal game, when you lose a life in the airship will just move around and you have to chase after it. In the randomize, the anchor, using the anchor in that vanilla game stops that anchor from moving. But in the randomizer, the anchors don't ever move away. Oh, hello, nippers. Anyway, because the anchor doesn't do that in randomizer, the anchor has been repurposed to be a random item.
And that random item will not be known to the players until the players actually go and use it. So, it's sort of a wild card.
And it will be that same item throughout the rest of the seed. If they get more anchors.
So we see our first big divergence in the game right here. jkoper chose, after taking the pipe, to go ahead and play through World 2-4, and Uropsalis returned back to the front of World 2. And at this point, jkoper, who's making his way through World 5F2, the Sky Fortress, is actually very close to reaching the World 2 airship. This looks like this could be an early big determinant that could give him a significant lead as we go forward.
Yeah, I think it was just the fortress that was blocking. Yeah.
That's correct. There was a locked door in the world, but it wasn't. I believe it was triggered by the fortress earlier in the world. So it looks like he was able to move right on through. And as you can see on Uropsalis' screen, that fortress that he just defeated did not actually affect the locked door right next to the airship. So he's going to have to go back and play through World 2-4 and the quicksand level. In the meantime, jkoper has a beefy Morton. Morton looks like he got his Wheaties.
Yeah. Beefy Mort with high jump boots.
jkoper, even as small Mario, is able to defeat it without any significant trouble. Gets the one back to the king, gets his thank you from the Toad, and is going to make his way to World 3 with a prize from the princess.
Okay, end card game. Uropsalis scored a flower and a mushroom, and another mushroom, and another flower. We'll know what those items are soon.
Looks like he's got a very systematic way of working through the board. Probably actually the most effective way to do the game. I'm not sure about the mathematics.
Oh, wow, full clear.
But he does clear the board very early on.
He won a hammer suit, a cloud, and a hammer.
So those items could work out to be very beneficial for him. The hammer suit, of course, being a favorite as anybody going into Bowser. As well, the hammers can break locks in addition to the rocks that players encounter on the overworld map. So those locked doors that the fortresses open up can be cleared by using the hammer in the randomizer.
Alright, jkoper is entering 3-9. Which I guess is... Would you call this a long level?
I would. It can be a long level. If you have difficulty making some of the jumps, especially that H block that jkoper is working through right now, it can be a long level, and it does have the two different levels, the water and...
And then
yes, I was going to say the underground water level with the Big Bertha. Typically, in the vanilla game, those are all cheats, but Big Bertha likes to make her appearance as well.
Not Boss Bass, Big Bertha. They're different.
Warpless is now entering the fight against Morton. And we'll see how he does. Gets 2-3 hits on him alrighty. As Small Mario, the 4th hit. And here we go, 5 hits. Gets the 5th hit on him. And Morton, even though he did leg day, he was not able to face Europe.
Worth mentioning that uropsalis got a hammer from the hammer of the fight, so they have 2 hammers, which may come into play if the double hammer play is good.
jkoper took a pipe early on in World 3 and was able to move quite a ways along that map, but is now having to go back and play some fortresses. He's now in the Door 6 fort, the
Anchor
first
is
fort.
frog suit. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nice. Go ahead. Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and interrupt that. Knowing that information is very handy for everyone. So the frog suit, kind of a funny play on here in this level, but he's making it happen. So yeah, 3-8, the title level, appears early on in this version of the randomizer, and uropsalis is still moving through the pipes with Frogsuit. Gonna check it out and find himself looking at doing 3-9 now, which he'll go ahead and take the Frogsuit in. He may go ahead and damage boost and clear that out. We'll see how he takes it.
jkoper won a P-Wing from the hammer for the fight.
Nice. P-Wing's always very helpful, especially in this version of the randomizer with these flags. He will know what level he's entering before he actually goes into it for most levels. Meaning he may decide whether or not, before entering a level, for instance, 7-9, or 7-9, 7-7, that he may want to go ahead and save it for a level like that, where he can easily skip a significant portion of the level with that.
6-9 is also a contender.
Absolutely.
More on that later if it ever becomes relevant.
In the meantime, jkoper is making his way through the gauntlet of cannonballs that is Wendy's airship, and manages to make his way to Wendy's cabin. Enters Wendy's cabin, and with firepower... I missed out.
uropsalis lost the flip. The hammer went to the rock and not the lock.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. And jkoper, Wendy definitely ate her Wheaties today, or had some Baconators. She was heavy today, shaking the floor and knocking things out. But he takes Wendy down after a few hits and has his wand. And he's moving on to World 4.
Yes, this is Warpless. The Warpless world does not exist in the randomizer. Both seeds.
So I didn't see when uropsalis went to use the hammer. Was he? Which was it?
It was. He was by the lock.
Okay.
The lock where the rocks are.
Okay, I see. Okay. So just whatever the priority for it was not in his. jkoper takes a hit on the cabin of the Boomerang Brothers in the coin ship, so that'll convert those Boomerang Brothers to regular Hammer Brothers. And if you want,
I think the prize remains. I think the prize is the same, though.
That's correct. The prize remains the same. The Hammer Brothers just go back to, or the Boomerang Brothers go back to standard Hammer Brothers, and it'll be reshuffled.
With fire, with fire, Wendy isn't that bad, even if she's heavy. 5-hit.
All right, so uropsalis was able to clear her quickly. jkoper back into the in-car game, and he's working his way through it, gets a match or two, and as he moves his way through the in-card game, he gets a couple of items, but not able to clear the board this time. uropsalis enters that coin ship again, and he should have no problem clearing the Boomerang Brothers with Fire Flower.
Yeah.
He doesn't. uropsalis takes a moment to consider his route. Not a bad idea at all. Even in a race situation, it can be very useful to just take a moment, think things over, and make sure that you're not missing anything important.
Yeah, survey the area is not a bad strategy. Oh!
Oh, that's unfortunate. So uropsalis is going to have to trade in a 1-up in exchange for falling into that pit there. Unfortunately, also near the end of the level that he was playing.
That's always the sting.
But this time he makes relatively quick work of World 4-2, finishing up with his P-Speed and gets a 1-up in exchange for the 3 cards. jkoper, he is...
That's a very weird place to have a Pipatui.
jkoper with a Patui in World 4-5 at the beginning, at the top of that pyramid of blocks. Can't see where the little spike ball the Patui is playing. So it looks like uropsalis is going to play this World 4 F2.
And jkoper is going for 4 F1. We'll see which one is correct.
So they do have to build a bridge to get to the castle to fight the airship. The booze and the Rotodisc were being really annoying there with a strange pattern, but he was able to clear it out. Good job, uropsalis, on that. jkoper is going to be patient with this swamp as he makes his way to Binbin's room.
4 F1 is the correct fort.
So 4F1 builds the bridge. So that'll mean jkoper has it here. And uropsalis is going to have to also deal with that really obnoxious.
Hello,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing that can happen with Jump. They can be unchained.
And you start saying words like that, and maybe people you're like, oh well, you should sing Unchained Melody. But Wolfman isn't on the stream tonight, so we'll save that for later.
Huh. jkoper's making his way to Iggy.
Iggy has those obnoxious hitboxes. See if that gives our runners any trouble tonight. No, he's only a 2-hit.
Oh. That uropsalis accidentally grabbed the star. You don't want a star when you need to go up pipes because you can't enter a pipe from upward if you're somersaulting. So yeah, uropsalis had to waste some time before they were allowed to enter the pipe.
The developers did put in some very interesting mechanics into this game, and it's fun to see how it actually affects players in a world that's not really designed for how the developers meant it to play.
Okay, well, World 5 opened up interestingly. There's like 2 routes. Or possibly only 1. Maybe this fort will make a bridge, maybe it won't.
Questions of the randomizer. Keeps everybody guessing, actually makes it entertaining. I guess when you got a 30-year-old video game, it is things like that that keep them. uropsalis makes quick work of Iggy as well, and jkoper learns that fort was the one that builds the bridge over to the other side,
Alright, it had to be the one that built the bridge because we already saw 542.
jkoper is going to clear this end card stage and get his.
jkoper decided to cross the bridge and do these levels. 5-7 is kind of tricky with its enemy placement. Especially with the latitude that is constant and always there in every seed.
Lakitu really loves this sky world. Appears in a lot of levels in it, but does give you a couple of bonus coins at the end of it, as well as a few thousand points for the days when you were counting points. In the meantime, looks like jkoper is going to make his way.
Interesting. Paradox pipe, hello.
And the paradox pipe drops uropsalis right back onto the other side of the.
Oh yeah, jkoper's gonna be very upset when they get to the end of this.
Won't be long now.
Yep. So yeah, I think uropsalis just took the lead there.
Absolutely, he enters 5-1.
Yeah.
The change archway takes a hit, but he'll be very happy with this out. So this actually could be a major game changer here.
But jkoper is getting the items. There is... jkoper could still come back from this.
Absolutely. We're just a little over halfway through the race at this point, so still lots of time, and the ever grant or equalizer rolled 8 still has to appear.
Yeah.
And as chat does point out, jkoper does have a couple of hammers to use, so those could end up coming in play, and I think that after he enters World 6, we may see these. We'll see what the World 6 map, a part of it, here in a moment, and we might have an idea whether or not those will come into play in World 6.
Yeah. Rolling 6 could very well be over within the first minute. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case for this time, though.
No, there's going to be a few levels in the way, and without, I didn't see what his cloud inventory or cloud count looked like in his inventory.
I didn't catch that either. But maybe we'll see it again.
Making a very nice daring leap to clear the level. uropsalis makes his way through, gets a 1-up, and 6-3 is done. He's moved.
Now, does uropsalis take on 6-10, or do they cloud past it? Because I know they're not going to do 6-6.
I would hope not. uropsalis gets trolled a little bit by the Hammer Brothers there.
Hello, Boss Pass.
Boss Pass.
And first meal.
So Boss Pass has had breakfast. Hopefully that's all of it. Don't like to feed them if we can help. There we go. Take a cloud.
Yeah. Using a cloud, then going in the pipe to save that progress of using cloud.
Well, what did you say about that very quick World 6?
Yep.
Commentator's blessing. Pat yourself on the back there.
And uropsalis is using a P-Wing because he knows that flight is king for this airship.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you find yourself trying to... Oh, jkoper. Okay, Boss Pass has had second break.
Yeah. Same Boss Pass, same location.
jkoper decides to go into 6-6.
That's interesting.
So he does take a look at his inventory. He's okay. So he's gonna take a star and a fire flower into his inventory. That will allow him to take out at least one, possibly even 2 boss passes. Very quick there. We got the second boss pass out of the way.
Hello, 7. Okay, well, a lot is happening in this second. So 7-5 on the left. Boss pass meal number 3 on the right.
Okay, so Boss Pass is doing too much, and jkoper decides to use the, he uses a star, a cloud. Yeah. He's taking the Fire Brothers. He's done with that.
jkoper's like has had enough. And gets rewarded with another cloud.
And he's going to take that pipe, and we'll be very happy he checked that pipe. And yes, chat just pointed out, Koper has a cloud yet. He can cloud over 7-5 when he gets that opportunity. We'll see if he does.
Let's see what this pipe takes us.
Well, we get another shot, another look at another pipe. And
okay, we see 2 forts. Fort Knox. And because uropsalis has a tail, we can just yeah, they're already done.
Fort Knox is quick when you enter as a raccoon. jkoper clears the fight, and he is now going to enter World 7-5. We'll see what he decides to do. He decides to go ahead and play 7-5.
Unfortunately, no, doesn't have another hammer, so 2 piranha fort, I suppose.
I'm afraid you may be right. Piranha Fort is a nasty fort to play, but
Unless the piranha gives him one.
oh, indeed, that's an option. Well, with jkoper's making his way through 7-5, though. uropsalis ends up on the island of nothing.
Oh. I think uropsalis has to go back to that island with 7-3.
Let's see if he can remember with a path. He's taken a lot of pipes, and he has...
Oh, there's also that. Oh, there's also that one. I forgot about that one. Alright, the Muncher Relay. Here we go.
The long, infinite field of those muncher plants. jkoper's still in 7-5, though. It looks like he's near the exit pipe. He just built the bridge that he needs to get out to the exit. In the meantime, uropsalis has exited World 7-7, so he's clear of the munchers, and he can get himself... He does a turn back, so he gets himself a mushroom. jkoper, having already picked up a mushroom in an earlier stage, gets his one.
Alright. And here's piranha fort.
And jkoper, I believe, had or still has a an extra hammer.
Hammer?
So that will... I think he did have an extra hammer. That would allow him to avoid having to do the piranha fort by going into the... or by using the hammer at that exit to the castle. So he's building, or use the... Okay, I see what he's doing now. uropsalis wasn't able to get the slide just... He is trapped in between a couple of rotodiscs and a thwomp on the other side. Oh, he gets out of it, though. Nice play. That right there was that was a clutch move there by uropsalis.
jkoper did indeed have a hammer.
And a music box, so he's on his way to the 7 airship.
Yep. jkoper retakes the lead. Oh! Okay, uropsalis won't be that far behind, because... Oh, never mind. I forgot they...
Well, you did call it, though. It did have a hammer with that piranha plant, so
Yeah.
even though he already played it, that could give him an advantage in World 8.
Yeah, hammer could still see some use in 8.
And Ludwig goes down very quickly. Not much action there. uropsalis puts the piranha to sleep, and he is also now in the airship. So we're separated between our runners by the duration it takes to clear the Ludwig airship, which won't really take too long. This Ludwig fight won't be a hard fight.
Yeah. And And now the question is, how many fortresses will need to be completed before access to Bowser? Because World 8 is always going to have 4 forts. And at least one of them will be required.
That is very true. We will have a number of bridges is randomized between the entrance to Bowser's Keep area and then the actually making it to Bowser's Castle. And with each of those forts being able to build a bridge, you could have anywhere from 0 to 4 bridges to have to be built. jkoper's fight in the Super Tanks goes very well. He manages to keep his Tanuki suit all the way through, takes out Boom Boom, and see what happens. Warpless, opting to play World 8 2, can be a good call. I don't know if he had a cloud to actually skip it anyway.
Maybe we'll see the inventory again and...
I think he has used all of his clouds, so he goes and decides not yet to play the Air Force. He's going to go and check out, see where this pipe leads. It goes to the spotlight screen, and he's going to take a trip back through.
Alright, Air Force. And a hand trap on the right.
Potobu Hand Bridge. jkoper's going to trade in a 1-up to save some time.
But if you choose to go through it, there's an item there. And it's going to be the same for the other 2 hand traps.
And jkoper now considering whether to play the Air Force or not. He decides he's going to check out the pipe, see where it goes. And he's also going to find out that it goes to another pipe. Let's see if he decides. It's going back and forth. It's a bunch of pipes. These mazes here remind me... Oh, wow, he's already built the bridge.
Okay.
So I believe it was the Navy then that builds that bridge. And that's the level that Warpless is in now, but jkoper has already got his hammer suit and his star and is making his way up the disco waffle stair. Good play by jkoper, and Warpless clearing the Navy stage is a little bit far behind. He may be able to get there, but unless something happens, it looks like jkoper has this race. It's not quite in the bag yet. Lots of things can happen in Bowser.
Not over till it's over. Okay, it looks like Navy was not the bridge maker.
Okay, I was definitely wrong on that one. I forgot he had cleared the Super Tanks level, but I thought Warpless had played that also.
Looks like the answer is Super Tanks. Anyway, jkoper unfortunately lost his hammer suit, and thus must fight Bowser the normal way. And by normal, I mean just hide underneath him.
Interesting development decisions there for Bowser to only have a hitbox in his head, so playing this fight against Bowser means all you gotta do is wait for Bowser to jump and break bricks, which he loves to do.
That said, you may need to also move about so you don't get clipped by a fireball like jkoper just did.
But it looks like jkoper has completed this, and he will take the first.
Uropsalis is entering Bowser's castle himself, while jkoper gets an SRL time of 38:36.
38:36, so get your GGs out for jkoper.
Oh,
with an official SRL time.
Warpless
Takes
also
the
lost.
first. Oh yes.
But that's okay. Fire will also work.
Let's hope he can keep it. Uropsalis is trying for the clip.
So these paths, lower have also been randomized with their fireballs and laser stats. Upper path tends to be a lot more treacherous because of the donut platform. And that statue up there can also shoot a laser if it feels like.
Uropsalis is working on this fire kill on Bowser. It's partway there. Just a few more hits left to go. And bye, Bowser.
Yeah.
So get your GGs out for Uropsalis.
Yeah. Fun fact, as Bowser goes up with the fire or hammer kill, his body can still harm you.
Sounds like the voice of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So with an official SRL time of 40 minutes and 15 seconds, Uropsalis is also completed. So we have 38, 36, and 40, 15. A very close race all the way through.
Yeah,
And indeed, it was very close all the way through.
It was a tug of war pretty much the whole way. But
So
in any case, oh, sorry, you go on.
I was just going to say, so at this point, jkoper is at 1. Uropsalis is at 1 and 4, and they have one more match to go before before Uropsalis completes his group stage appearance. jkoper and Uropsalis will face off again in a few minutes. They're going to get set up. We'll stick around here. I hope you stick around and watch the second race with the second set of flags.
Yes. We will reconvene momentarily.
Good evening. Welcome back, everybody, for match 2 of this 2-match set between uropsalis and jkoper in the Super Mario Bros. 3 2020 Randomizer Tournament. We're going to be starting very shortly here with Flag Set 2. And with Flag Set 2, I'd like for chat to go ahead and make your bets on which world we will see first. World 1 through 7.
See, with this flag set, the worlds are randomized, and so are the levels.
That is right, Dust Minion. So what we have is all the levels that end in either collecting an item or with the roulette cards all end up getting thrown into one pool, and all the worlds that end in a boom boom fight get the pool. And you'll see forts, you'll see numbers, but they don't mean a thing until the players enter them.
All right, world is desert.
World 2. Oh, looks like uropsalis did have a slight glitch on us, accidentally restarted, but the race is on, so we'll just have to catch up.
We start off with this level, which is kind of tricky with its fire.
This is level
But-
5-5,
Yeah.
and
It-
donut
it is-
lips make it very.
I mean, it isn't terribly long, but the fire does make it a little treacherous.
jkoper and uropsalis finishing right about the same time again, despite uropsalis having a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning. And jkoper gets death in 1-5 as he enters on the slide. A little bit of a miscue. Uropsalis goes down the exit chute, gets hit by the Venus flyer trap at the base of it, but gets out none worse for the wear, and he's going to get his second card, and he's clearing his second.
This desert. Ah, that didn't look. That didn't look like it even touched him there.
Oh yeah, that's just not fair.
Yeah,
So,
hitboxed.
2-5. So jkoper's having some trouble here on 1-5. We'll see if this ends up costing him horribly.
Ooh,
He's actually in danger of game overing here, which would mean he'd have to replay 5-5 again as well.
they might just do it intentionally to get the lives back. Or I guess not.
Not this time. He's going to power through it. So World 2, the way it looks, you can't really see what we're facing in World 2, except we are facing 2 forts. Once again, those forts could be any forts from the game, including the World 8 military levels.
Yeah, desert's looking to be quite a long one.
uropsalis goes and scrolls the screen over just to take a look, picks a fort, and picks the World 5 F2 fort. Not really a bad fort, although if you're going to race it through, you do have to be careful with the jumps.
Yeah.
Not like he just did.
Yeah.
That was unknown.
That said, if you just keep moving and don't stop, you'll get through it.
One of the things that does not get changed in the randomizer is the podoboos, and I believe their patterns do remain pretty well the same as from what I remember playing as a kid.
Yeah, podobos are constant.
And jkoper decides as he's clearing the level that he's going to go ahead and match the stars and get his 5 of his 1-ups back.
Okay, that's fair.
Absolutely. I would have done the same thing in his position. That's a very good call. Let's see, he may even get this one. Nope, doesn't get the 1-up at the end of the airship.
I think they're gonna have to do the quicksand level regardless.
Looks that way. Because there was nothing there.
It's 3-3.
Very nice. I love this level. I always love the long sliding hills that you can get a nice big jump at the end of. jkoper making his way through the Podoboo Fortress. Is not going to take that mushroom since it fell into lava. It's well cooked, you would say.
Pretty much.
Yes, this is the last race of the night. These races are 2 flag sets, so the 2 racers play 1 game each with different sets of settings. And thanks for putting up. There's all the information with links to how the tournament is going as well. So feel free to check those out. And also, if you do have Discord on your phone or computer, feel free to join us in the Discord server as well. We're a community that loves to promote the game and have fun with it. Morton is a salty beast tonight, taking 4 hits to go down, but uropsalis cleans it up and has the 1, and he'll be moving on to the next level.
So what's World 2 gonna be? Get your guesses out.
I didn't see anybody guessing World 2 for the first level, but we have a 4 and a 5, 6, 1. Those are all going to be valid.
And a 7. I'm gonna say 6 as well.
6, the ice level. Very fine. jkoper gets the
It's 7.
the nice full jump. Oh, it is 7. So, Snooky Monster, pat yourself on the back. Good job.
Oh, and their opening act is 6-6.
Whew, that's a bear of a way to do that.
That's spicy.
And trying to go for that power-up that was a star, but with that shell bouncing back and forth there, he's not going to take it. He gets another star instead.
Yeah, so yeah, 6-6 is notorious for randomizer players because of all the dodging you have to do underwater. It is packed with enemies and a lot of slowdown. And there's also the final trick at the end where there could be a boss pass waiting for you at the very end.
So it looks like this pipe maze that he has to go through isn't going to give him too much trouble. He does take 1 hit, but is able to get through that, and he's got this one last section to clear through and on dry land, and gets through it. Those are mostly Cheep Cheeps inside the water in that level, but in the randomizer, they're often bloopers, Big Berthas, and nanny bloopers, and all kinds of nasties.
But it is conquered.
Good job, uropsalis. Some clutch swimming there, and he's out. And speaking of out, jkoper has cleared Morton as well, and he's out. And the king reminds him of what he does not want to become boss passes: second breakfast.
Yeah, uropsalis found the island, but no hammer.
jkoper also enters 6-6 and decides he's going to go ahead and keep playing it, grabs that star, and he's swimming. And chat, if you were here for the last match, Boss Bass had 3 or 4 breakfasts, so he's full. Hopefully he decides he doesn't need to come back tonight.
Yeah. jkoper being cautious in this portion, which is reasonable.
Uropsalis clears 4-5 in a near vanilla pattern towards the end of there, with all the Koopa paratroopers in the on the floating bricks. Now enters World 1-4, another world that normally would be a level that would have
Auto-scroll.
the auto scroll, de-auto scroll for the randomizer purposes, and makes quick work dodging through it. Except he finds a fire chop towards the end.
Yeah.
That is,
Yeah, I don't think we've mentioned it, but the auto-scrolling is gone for most of these levels. There are only 2 exceptions where auto-scroll still exists. And we might see them.
one of those exceptions is available in the Flag 1 set. That's rolled 5-9. And the other exception is one of the beta levels that's known as Atlantis. And speaking of which, we do have beta levels available for our runners to encounter. These are levels that were left in the original Super Mario Bros. 3 game code, but were inaccessible. Now we see one of the examples of that Koopa military, the Air Force, being played in the place of one of the World 7 forts. So to the side. Uropsalis being a little cautious as he makes his way through this airship, or through the Air Force. Those rocky wrenches, especially if you get a little bit of a delay on the jump, can put their wrench up just in time to pick you off. But he gets his way to Bim Bim, clears Bim Bim with no problems, and he's on his way.
Okay, end card game.
Every 80,000 points, according to the player's scoreboard at the bottom of the screen, the end card game can appear, and it will appear at the first opportunity, as long as another in-card game doesn't already exist on the screen.
Okay, flowers give clouds.
Well, those can that could be quite handy for our runners here. And Uropsalis now enters. He's going to try.
Oh, he got the clip.
Outstanding.
You could also fly over it, but not much room to do it.
So that looked like World 7-1, which is the long vertical climb, and is a very difficult. It's a very time-consuming level. It's not especially difficult.
That was 7-6 actually.
Oh, 7-6. Okay. Oh yeah, that
7-1 is the other one.
Right. So 7-6. Okay.
7-6, you can actually P-wing and fly above it.
And jkoper, during the middle of all that, took his lead, or took his way to Bim Bim, or through the Air Force. Not a lead yet. Made his way to the Air Force and cleared Bim Bim. Uropsalis has the lead with Ludwig, who did not skip leg day. But it looks like he also didn't do his bench presses. He goes down in just a couple.
Man, that is... Wow. jkoper almost cleared that entire board.
That would have been a remarkable play. Let's see what he has here. He doesn't have any...
yeah,
he's not going to be able to do the clip.
Yeah, so they're just going to go in and... maybe? Oh, they're actually going to play it.
jkoper's going to play it, so this is the other vertical climb, and it's a difficult climb. As you saw there, those lifts, if you bump your head, they'll go away, and there's a little bit of a glitch there with the sprites.
Yeah, it's because of enemy tribes. They don't cooperate with tiles in sprite work.
So Uropsalis making his way now through World 6, and he's now in the Navy. In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas in the Navy, yada yada yada. Cheers to anybody that wants to sing. That's about all you're going to get tonight. Boom Boom goes down pretty quickly, and let's see what uropsalis is able to get through with this crystal that he collects from Boom Boom. This could actually make a very quick World 6, depending on what it unlocks. Well, not much help with that one. It did unlock a door, but it was a door that he would have been able to bypass anyways. jkoper, in the meantime, taking a piranha level from World 7, and these levels, they'll both provide an item, just like in the vanilla.
Yeah. Music box may come in handy somewhat. It remains to be seen.
It's music box is a popular item to use in World 7 especially in the exact same place that he just collected it from. So we'll see if he's able to put it to good use. And Ludwig with those Air Jordans there surprises jkoper a little bit, but he does manage to put Ludwig to rest, gets him out of there. uropsalis collects.
Had one hammer, and now they have two. Oh, hello, 8-1.
8-1 can be. It is deceivingly difficult. Lots of ways that the randomizer can throw enemies at you to trick you up.
Yeah, such as that hot foot right there.
And 4 bullet bills chasing him down. He may actually be able to put those to good use, though. 4 bullet bills again after he knocks one down. Sometimes you can put them to use to help with some jump assist, but he doesn't need it. He's a boss at this. He clears it out, and he's on his way to the. And in the fortress, he finds the World 3 Fort 1, the door 6.
The pathways are not randomized. It's the same every time.
People have discussed asking Fred to make that a randomized element. I really hope it. Well, I hope that if he does decide to do that, they save it for some later stages of the tournament. But
it's possible that fortress that uropsalis cleared was a bridge. And that said, he still gotta clear this one.
And it's the same fort that jkoper is currently in, the World 6 Carpet Fort, 6F2. And jkoper is currently in the elevator room. It should make pretty quick work of this after he jumps over those boos. And here. Not bad at all. And we get our clear on the other side of the. jkoper gets a P-Wing in exchange for clearing a couple of Hammer Brothers. And we'll go and check a pipe, see what we have. But I believe uropsalis has almost a clear path once he finishes his other level to the airship. We'll find out here in a moment.
I don't think jkoper meant. I don't think he meant to use that star.
Okay, I did wonder about that, but accidents happen, inputs get screwed up, and sometimes that's what happens in race.
So do cannonballs firing from nothing in the first airship there. So anyway, here's Lemmy. 5-hit Lemmy. When the floor is this low and there's blocks up high like that, the balls can actually get stuck in the geometry.
So we have World 4 as one of the guesses, and World 1. So let's see how our guesses line up with reality. jkoper, keeping the knowledge from his previous attempts at the end card panel, clears it, collects those last 2 items, and makes his way into World 2-1. with the little nipper plant. That's going to be a volcano nipper.
Hello.
At him.
Oh my.
This is a bear of a 2-1, if I ever saw one.
We didn't see this on uropsalis' end, did we?
No, we did not. jkoper is...
that chopper is...
Chomp sniffer. Oh!
Oh, mercy.
Mother's love. Takes a star into the Sledge Brothers fight. In the meantime, uropsalis gets into World 4 and takes a Hammer Brothers fight. Collects a mushroom.
A consolation prize and another hammer for jkoper.
So, let's see, uropsalis, another Hammer Brother fight, does a double raccoon tail swaggy maneuver to collect a cloud.
I think I saw jkoper had 3 hammers.
Oh, that could turn the tide of the game later on.
Or so does uropsalis.
Piranha Fort, or as I like to call it, the Why Fort. Why are you doing this to me, Fort?
The Tower of Bloom.
I like that name. I have to add that to the repertoire. uropsalis entered with a tail, leaving with a tail, without a tail. And that star should allow him to complete the rest of it without too much more difficulty. See if he can keep it. Oh no, wasn't able to keep it all the way to that.
And that hot foot.
Yeah.
Hot foot giving uropsalis some hot foot.
So he'll have to fight Boom Boom small. No problem for a pro that he is. jkoper deciding to collect a power up in the Door 6 fort to make things a little bit easier for him. Can't say that I would argue with that decision. Good call. But that fort that uropsalis just played also, so the Piranha Fort does build the bridge to the airship for World 4, so that's going to be an essential...
And good call on the P-Wing, because this is the World 7 airship.
The longest airship in our game here.
I guess it's something worth mentioning that it is going to be Iggy at the end. Oh, actually, yeah, it's World 4 and Iggy. Well, I guess I should be more specific. World 3 was ice, so it was going to be Lemmy at the end, even though it says 3. The Kooplings are wired to their respective worlds.
Well said there, Dust Minion. And speaking of Lemmy and Iggy, they have both gone down. And uropsalis and jkoper are moving on to their worlds, although uropsalis at this point has a full lead of 1 world. Speaking of 1, that will be the next world we'll encounter. uropsalis decides to go ahead and cloud over the fortress. He has a hammer that he'll be able to use to break the block that is blocking the path to the airship. So this could be a very jetty.
Yeah. When you have like 4, you can afford to spend 1.
Not a bad call at all.
Especially this deep in the run.
Absolutely. So with it being the 5th of the 7, well, the 5th of the 8 worlds.
Alright, a P-Wing. Will be handy.
jkoper finding out now that the Piranha Fort is going to be necessary playing. And, takes a head off. As he loses his tail at absolutely the wrong... Decides to take a P-Wing to get into the Piranha Fort. Not a bad idea. Right. It can make things pretty handy. Did Larry go down in 1 hit?
Yeah, but unfortunately uropsalis failed to get the screen warp.
So he's going to have to fall the entire distance of the screen. Not an enormous time loss.
Yeah, it's only like maybe like an extra second.
In a hardcore speed run.
Oh,
Oh no, jkoper trying to do the swaggy jump off the end of to go to complete that and lost a P-wing for his. World 3 is
a beta level.
6 and starts out with beta level for World 1.
This Halloween color scheme.
jkoper is being chased by that Boo Diddley. Here's to hoping. Oh, he gets past it and past that swamp as well. And now he's just got to go and complete that entrance into the pipe and make his way to Boom Boom. Does a couple of nice slides to get his way into Boom Boom's lair, and he'll take this fight in just a few moments. uropsalis into 6-3 and making quick work on these. Takes that last long jump like the pro that he is and clears it, collects his mushroom, and let's see if he decides. No, he's decided he's got all the inventory he needs. He's going to check pipes. He's on it. He's hauling.
Oh.
And jkoper takes a dive off the airship.
At least it was early, I think.
It was quite early in the airship, so not a lot of time lost. I think he was trying to just get a little bit of a longer jump than he could manage, and with the tail, what that Tanuki suit provides, he'll be able to avoid shenanigans like that for the rest of this airship. There he goes. He's gotten to the cabin, normally reserved for Ludwig. This time Iggy's playing in the role. uropsalis still advancing quite quickly through the water world that is typically World 3.
More hammers, why not?
Oh, a hammer. Friendly hammers. So, looked like earlier, in an earlier race, it looked like it was very hammer scarce.
Yeah.
This, it looks like hammers are everywhere.
Yeah, I noticed uropsalis did a level that he didn't need to.
You might think at the moment that it's costing him some time, but in the reality, looks like he's got a relatively healthy lead. Let's see how jkoper takes it.
Yeah.
jkoper goes and plays the first fortress he encounters. It's 5F1.
Yet another hammer.
Wow.
That's like number 6.
I guess Harbor Freight is opening up a branch office in this seed.
Alright. Okay, there was a clip that could be done 6-9, and doesn't look like uropsalis wanted to try it anymore.
That's true. You can clip it sometimes.
To be fair, it is very tricky and like a 3-frame window.
Right. You can also fly over it if you got a tail or a P-wing, but he does make quick work of the level. Moves on. jkoper using a cloud and a star. He's going to clear out the Boomerang Brothers here, and he'll make quick work of World 1. Posing as World 5, so he's not going to be too far behind, but he's still got several minutes. uropsalis, ooh, close, boss pass there.
But apparently, boss pass is going to stay up there.
Fortunately, yes, since he didn't actually kill boss pass in any way, boss pass will stay on the same plane, and this is I think this is the 5.3 beta. Is that correct?
I think 3.9 beta?
3.9, okay.
Hard to say.
It's got elements of both, yeah. Iggy going down in one hit for jkoper. So jkoper will be entering World 6.
Larry.
Larry, yes, sorry.
Alright. It's alright.
Actually,
Alright,
no,
uropsalis is using one of his 11 billion hammers.
using a hammer and in the World 5 airship now. So.
Hello, Wendy. Bye, Wendy.
Wendy goes down easy today.
Alright. Alright, so World 7 is going to be Sky. World 8 will always be World 8.
Uropsalis, or sorry, jkoper, looking at his inventory, takes a hammer to the rocks next to him, and even though at this stage might think that might be a little bit premature, he'll find out pretty quickly that no, he's going to have plenty of extra hammers.
Alright, opening act for World 7 is... with, quicksand level with sun in its natural habitat.
So, get out your Freds for yet another Fred. A vanilla appearance of the level that defines Las Vegas in the summertime.
uropsalis still has like 4 hammer.
Oh my, so jkoper takes a hit in that 5 or rolled 1-5 beta.
Yeah.
And uropsalis back in the World 3 flooded fort, 3F2.
Oh, jkoper's at 0 lives.
Oh, I just saw that. Well, fortunately, he since he did just now enter World 6, if he does take a hit here, it won't really push him back too far.
They will have to redo this level if game over happens.
That is correct. So the game mechanic in SMB3, if you do game over, is that all of the map features stay the same. So any locked doors, broken rocks that you've made, those stay in place. However, any levels that you've cleared, those standard overworld stages, will be reset. So you have to play those back. So you won't have to replay forts, but he hasn't played a fort yet.
Yeah. jkoper realizing sadly that he wasted 2 hammers.
It might be worthwhile at this point to even consider playing one of the roulette games to see if he can get a couple of extra lives.
Oh, and this is the worst arena for a fire brother.
Fire Brother will smar Mario and there he
Ow.
goes. That's the game over. So jkoper's back in the 1.5 beta with 4 lives now. But uropsalis, in the meantime, has taken a substantial lead. He's in 4-1. Gets snatched by an angry sun, but he's got his way out to the exit pipe, gets his card, and collects his 1-up.
Okay, chat, you're right. It wasn't a waste over those hammers. And jkoper had no way of knowing that the pipe would take him specifically there. Fair enough.
uropsalis enters the rolled 4-3 with some P speed to make these nice jumps. Gets snagged by a spiny. Meantime, jkoper is assessing his situation.
Hitbox.
Oh, got a hitbox glitch there on the.
Round 2. There we go.
uropsalis is now sitting just a couple of overworld stages from the airship that will take him to World 8. So this is looking to be a really jetty World 5 posing as World 7.
Yeah, you keep your inventory for game over.
This,
There's no explicit danger in game overing if you're at the very start of it.
That's right, and someone in our chat was saying that he may have been better off taking a strategic death just to game over and reset with 5 lives. And I have seen that maneuver taken. It's
I've done
very valid.
I've done it before.
Absolutely, it's a very valid strategy, especially if you're just entering the world. I've done it playing just for funsies, so yeah.
But no matter. Jkoper is still making an effort.
He's pressing on in the World 6-2. This is another de-auto-scrolled level, and makes you do have to play some careful with some of these lifts, and then we got Fire Chomp towards the end there.
This auto-scroller, however, is quite long.
Indeed, uropsalis is now in the airship, so he'll be finishing up here in a moment. And yeah, here we go. He's in the fight against Roy, and looks like he's going for the fire kill, and gets the fire kill after one stomp against Roy.
All right, jkoper going for some safety lives.
So that should keep him from having to worry about the game over situation for the rest of this season.
Yeah. And yep, hammer through the lock.
Oh, unfortunate hit on that jet at the beginning of the airship.
It's fine, it's at the very start.
Just the beginning. Yep.
It's fine, it's at the very start.
So uropsalis very firmly in the lead now, entering World 8. He's
wow, regular tanks.
Yep, so the regular tanks do make an appearance. They won't open the locked door or build a bridge, but they will provide the item after he clears out the Boomerang Brother at the end.
Yeah, because there's no Boom Boom at the end, this level is actually shuffled along with regular levels, but I guess decided to stay in its natural habitat this time around. And another hammer.
Definitely not the natural reward. So this will be the Home Depot seed. Uropsalis clears his way through this fortress and takes care of Boom Boom right there. jkoper is back in. He's in the quicksand stage, dodging the Angry Sun.
We haven't seen a hammer. We haven't seen a hand stage yet.
But we do have the other military on the hand stage.
Oh, hello, Atlantis.
And uropsalis is going to play it. Okay. Atlantis is the other auto scroll level that was not able to be de-auto scrolled, owing to the nature of
the mechanics of the game, the programming. The level would break otherwise.
And since it is an auto-scrolling level, it's a very slow level. And
this will give time for jkoper to catch up. No, they are not aware of the other's progress.
And since it did, since the level did appear as a hand stage, it is a level that jkoper could not be forced into playing.
Of course, the hand trap could be very, very needy and just keep grabbing you over and over again with no remorse.
And that may be why uropsalis decided to go ahead and play it. Since it is a hand trap stage, he figured that it's probably better just to clear it and be done with it than to get picked up over and over if he ends up having to go back and forth over that block.
And yeah, Atlantis led to a dead end. Yes, tower is always going to be tower.
uropsalis making some boss jumps on that island of spikes, the raising and lowering island of spikes in World 2 Fortress. Clears out Boom Boom. And that was the Boom Boom impersonating the Super Tanks level. And here's, looks like, yep, World 4 F2 in place of the Air Force. That boss bass in the in World in this World 2 level, not a friendly sight, but jkoper will be able to clear this out without much problem as soon as he. Oh, nice! Swaggy trying to save times here, save frames. Jump down there with
nice.
The turtle spell. Keep it entertaining. Uropsalis, though, finds out he has to beat one more level.
Or find the other pipe.
Or find the other pipe. Yes, it looks like he's going to go and find the other pipe, and he does. So, if you were guessing 2 or 3 bridges to build to reach Koopa Castle...
Unfortunately, none of those hammers were attached to a suit.
All the hammers and no hammer suit. What a troll for a seed.
It's fine. Fire will do the job.
As long as he doesn't lose enough time that Boo Diddley catches up to him, he gets the Nintendo Power Clip, and he's going to take the upper world after not, or the upper level after not being able to take that first clip.
Tread carefully.
Trying to see if he can trigger the fire breath. Nothing yet. Nothing from the laser tower. Hey! And here we are. Hi, Bowser. Almost done. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. Hold on to it.
All right.
Get your GGs out. Nice play with the fire kill on Bowser. So, there we have it. Get your GGs for uropsalis. He has completed with an official SRL time of 41 minutes, 51 seconds.
No. I think this is the first not 2 wins in a row match I've seen. Is this still just going to be 2 rounds for the night?
That is correct. Since the way the tournament works is each player during the group stage plays 6 total matches, 2 matches against each of the 3 opponents in the group. That means that they only play 2 matches regardless of who wins which ones.
I see. In that case, I will see if uropsalis wants to say where they don't.
Okay, so uropsalis says is not able to stick around for the interview. That's perfectly fine. I understand.
That's fine.
We'll see you again next time, uropsalis. Have a good evening. And congratulations. jkoper is making his way into the fight against Roy Koopa. Does the 2-hit stop, and bye-bye Roy. And jkoper is continuing to play this stream, so I believe he does. Since this is actually just the 3rd match that he has played, he still has 3 more to go. And one of the big tiebreakers that can come into effect is the actual average time. And so we never encourage players to forfeit. We always encourage players to play it out. And jkoper's doing that. And
also, I believe there is a penalty if you forfeit.
That's right. There is a penalty. Your time, if for a forfeit, gets set to 2 hours, which is a very long time. And since most of these seeds are finishing up in about the 40-minute mark, so in the event of a tiebreaker coming into play, that could fairly well ruin your opportunity. So no sense in forfeiting, especially if your heart's in it. You want to play it out, and it's very encouraged to play it out.
The race is not over until it's over.
Indeed. So the players do know that the other player has completed. They just don't know what the status of the progress is during the race. Oh,
that always gets me.
But yeah, it's a difficult one, especially when the hot foot's just right there underneath your block. The Kaizo block, it's a block that we know about, so it's not really that he was Kaizo'd into it. It's just
if you pay attention, you notice that the spots where blocks are is differently colored from the background that doesn't have. jkoper skipped Atlantis.
He didn't get snagged by the hand that time, so he's but he does find out that it goes
on the way back, though. Will he get grabbed there? Nope.
Oh, nice. He'll be glad if he sticks around, or if he sees the replay, he'll be glad that he missed that both times. It looks like uropsalis is doing some bonus SMB3, doing a run of the vanilla game for you on the left side. Well, it looks like the vanilla game, but he's got some... something's a little bit different with the sprites I thought. Oh well.
I think it's the practice seed.
Oh, okay. Alright. So anyway, back on to jkoper. Gets a star. Oh. Is dancing on the spikes and just a... Oh, no.
There's it landed.
Yeah. jkoper is going to trade in a 1-up to avoid Atlantis.
Okay.
Gets through it the second time. It might have been worthwhile to go and enter that pipe just to avoid having to do Atlantis if he gets snagged by this again.
Yeah, pipe does save your location.
Okay, so jkoper is moving on now into Boom Boom, gets that clear, so that will save his location. That will be the end of us having to see Atlantis. No more chances of that for the rest of the night. He enters with a P-Wing for 4F2. Of course, with not knowing what it is, and even more so seeing that the sprite for it was the Air Force, gets to thinking, hey, maybe I want to fly for this one. But regardless, he gets a quick path through 4F2, knocks out Boom Boom. Bye-bye, Boom Boom. See you next time. jkoper doing a little bit more exploration of the World 8 map, and checks out this pipe. Finds out that he's on the wrong side of the river, but he does have both bridges built.
Yeah.
Now he's just got to find that pipe.
Yeah, find the other pipe. Found it.
And now he's at Bowser's Castle, uses his hammer suit, uses his star, and away we go. Knocks out Boo Diddley with the hammer. No problem at all. Climbing the Disco Waffle staircase. He's got it. He's got the clip. He's got the Nintendo Power clip. Through the Podobo room. Oh, come on, Colin. Go through the Podobo room. And there we go. Taking the lower world, or the lower route.
Which tends to be safer than the upper route. Because no donut blocks in the lower route. Well, not counting these ones. That said, laser statues could still be problematic.
Doesn't get any trouble with him.
Oh!
Oh! Okay, so he does get the fireball, fire breath, but enters the fight against Bowser as Super Mario, so he'll still be able to clear this out and defeat Bowser. Just needs to be patient and needs to remember to, as he did, stand up and actually move around a little bit so he doesn't get fire breathed.
Yep, gotta do the shuffle.
And this will do it. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans of all ages, get your GGs for jkoper, finishing the race up. And we'll see here in a moment his official time. But he's at the door, and he has finished his official
50.
SRL time. Go ahead.
50-42.
So congratulations to jkoper and to both of our racers for a 1-in-1 match, a split set. And stick around, and we'll see if jkoper will be able to join us in the chat. We don't have word yet about whether jkoper will be able to join us in the chat, but stick around. We'll be here shortly. Back with the final. Okay, so fans, that does conclude our matchup for the night. We're still waiting to find out whether or not jkoper will join us. But summarize what happened this evening. Our two competitors, uropsalis and jkoper, split their set. Now, since people do ask, do they play a tiebreaker? And the answer is no. It's just two matches. Each player plays one game with different flag sets. So the first one is a more vanilla style flag set. The second one's a little bit more complicated. The result of this flag set was a split set. So uropsalis goes to 2-4 for the group stage, and jkoper has moved to 1-2.
Round 3 will be at a later date.
Hello.
We have jkoper. GG.
GG. Round 3.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I mean, I got beat pretty bad that race, but I won one, I guess.
Hey, you know, it's a 1-on-1 split. It's the randomizer is what the randomizer does, but in the end, it's all still fun, and we appreciate the display of skill and the entertainment. So, thank you.
Yeah, the skill was on and off there. I had a lot of deaths for sure, and I think I had a game over both of them, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we only remember seeing the game over in the second seed.
The second seed.
As you were trolled there by the rolled 1-5 beta.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm really upset about is that fireball hitbox. That
Oh yeah, we saw that. That was, you got robbed.
It was like below the hill already, and
absolutely that was Bush League there on the hit.
Yeah, but that second seed, man, just so much potential, and then just nothing. I think that the worlds were maybe out of order a little bit or something, because we had all these hammers and then nowhere to use them at all. And then just World 8.
There were at least 8 hammers.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the end card game too, so if I would have done that, I could have got another couple of them, I'm guessing. But, yeah, World 8, there was a completely forced path. You had to go through all of the things. So even if there were locks on the way, it didn't even matter. You had to beat all of the things that would unlock the locks anyway, except for unless you had a cloud to skip that first fort, I guess. But I didn't have any.
And I don't recall if that first fort that you were referring to, if that one did, if that one just unlocked the door, or if that one was a bridge building.
I don't think there's any way we can know. It was on the way, and unless and uropsalis skipped it, there's no way that we would know.
No, he didn't skip it. No, that last screen going into Bowser's Castle, both of you encountered just the 2 pipes separated by the river, and then both of you did build the bridges. So, yeah, that's it was a pretty similar part of it. Rose.
Yeah, you found the other pipe to skip that 3rd river.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty boring. The first Seeds 8 was a little more interesting. Not a ton, but a little more. So,
any closing thoughts?
I don't know. I just need to play more consistently, be a little more careful, or something. I think I maybe get hesitant with some jumps, and then I end up running into things. So,
you know, I absolutely would say though, don't lower your head about this.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up.
It is a tough version of the game. The randomizer is not easy, and even some of the best players in the world that are in this tournament, some of them played today, have difficulty with it. So absolutely, don't let it get you down. Have fun with it, and like you did this time, even though you saw that you had already that your uropsalis had completed it. You know what? Just keep hammering it out and fighting through it, because that's the only way you're going to get better. And at the end of the day, it's just another game, man. So I'd give you a pat on the back and a high five. So
yeah, I mean, you can say what you want, but the best players would be pretty upset with the 40, let alone a 50. So, but at the same time, I don't practice this or anything a whole lot, so I'm not upset or anything. I'm here to have fun. I don't care. If I get out of the opening round, I'm certainly fine with that, and if I don't, then I will move on with my life. So
Yeah. So now, as I understand, do you still have a second match against Magoo as Adorable?
yeah, we couldn't do the second one because his card reader broke. So
Oh,
we're going to be doing that on Wednesday, I think.
okay. Yeah. So
What does the schedule say?
I'll be able to look it up here.
Yeah, I got it open.
Yeah, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern is my race versus
Versus Magoo.
Magoo, yeah. And then I've got a couple versus Paradox to schedule. Yeah. So
All right.
that'll be next week as well.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, maybe someday we can figure out a way to get a Trogdor sprite into the Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah. I'd rather have maybe some other sprites cleared up in other games. I don't need more Trogdor sprites in more games, especially this game like this where it doesn't have any sprite options, as I don't think it does anyway.
It doesn't. I think it would make clips a little awkward.
Well, I mean, you can say that about most games with sprite options, so it always makes things awkward.
Eh.
I'm pretty terrible at the clips regardless. You just got to get used to your clips if you're using a different sprite. So
Yeah, it's true.
Indeed.
So
Well,
anyway, that concludes. Do you have anything else to say, jkoper?
nope. Thanks, guys, for restream commentary and stuff.
All right.
Thanks, jkoper.
Take care. And that concludes this match. Again, round 3 will be at a later time. Tomorrow we have 3 matches. At 2 p.m., Gimp Extreme versus the Haxor. At 3 p.m., a quad with Dark Shadows 59 Jitab and Gamer Cal in One Fine Day. And then at 8 p.m., Johnny Link versus Claris.com.
So we got a full day tomorrow, and we also have a match on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, featuring Prior 57 versus Ace of Arrows. And then, if you're able, I hope you can join us again on Monday at 9:30 for another quad match featuring Mitch Flower Power and Dave Lindo, and Reiku Ryder versus F. Coughlin, the man himself who made the randomizer. And we also have matches later on throughout the week. And go ahead, and if you are interested in any of the matches, take yourself over to speedgaming.org. Click on the schedule link, and you can see the matches, all the matches that are provided for all the different randomizers and other tournaments and exhibitions that speedgaming.org has. They have a full schedule. You can see all the events coming up on all the channels through the next several days.
Also, give those 2 races a follow.
And I do want to send a shout out to our participants in chat and the rest of the viewers. If it weren't for you guys making the performances, we wouldn't have any reason to be here. As well, thank our organizer, Pro007, and our volunteer crew of stage managers, tech support, and administrators who helped make us able to do this job.
Indeed.
And finally, I want to thank the teams at speedgaming.org and speedrunslive.com. The crews have been very wonderful for the speedrunning community and your fans and allow the events like this to take place. That's all I have. Dustminion, do you have any final comments?
I'd like to thank you, Diesel, for assisting me.
Absolutely. I want to thank you, Dustminion, for a great time. And that's all I have here. So from Las Vegas, Nevada, speedgaming.org, and Twitch TV, this is Diesel Pilot. I am signing.
And this is Dustminion saying, Boss Bess is watching you. Good night.